morning, and I just want to tell you that it's going to be an exciting one. It's going to be a meeting you're proud of being part of. Not just being part of the meeting, but at the end, you'll be proud of being, or you would want to be in this gathering. You want to identify yourself with this business. That is what I mean. Because SWIFTtrip is coming with a mighty package, a massive package, of which we will introduce them to you in the course of this presentation. All right. So it's an opportunity for you listening to us today. I tell you, it's an opportunity that you are here in this meeting listening to us today to talk about this amazing business. So before I proceed with the presentation of today, I want to introduce myself to every one of us. For the benefit of those that do not know me, I will quickly introduce myself as the speaker of this meeting this morning. I am Favorina Miayo, the international admin of SWIFTtrip, and also the personal assistant to the CEO of SWIFTtrip, okay? And I will be taking us on the presentation of today. I'll be riding us, or taking us on a ride, of which we will be talking about our future. Yes, we can only talk about this future if we plan about it. If we don't plan about it, we can't talk about it. Yes, if we don't plan about this future, we can't talk about it. So we need to plan about our future. So to every one of us that are here today, to every one of us that are yet to understand what this business is all about, please stay tuned, because a detailed presentation will be given to you today. So let us move quickly into the presentation of the day. If you are new here, looking at the screen, you will know that this business is a business that has to do with transportation. It's a transportation business. Okay? Of course, you're looking at the aircraft, you're looking at the vehicle, you're looking at the luggages. This tells you that it's a transportation business. Everyone can Okay? So, if we look at the next one, we have what we call the logistics. The logistics. Examples of logistic business, we have the UPS, we have the God is Good Logistics. All of these are examples of what? Logistics. Now, if we look at the fifth one we are rendering, we have the hospitality. The hospitality. So, in SWIFTtrip, when we talk about hospitality, we are talking about we coming to own what? Our own hotels. We are talking about hotel business. Look at these services from the aviation, e-taxi, e-commerce, logistics, and hospitality. Is there anyone that is new? Hotel is not a new business. Okay? And as we speak today, we've been able to acquire our own land in River State here at the heart of Port Harcourt, calling out for investors for them to come, partake in the building of what? Our 20-story building. We are coming in a big way. We are erecting our 20-story building. And it will be amazing if you are part of it. As an investor listening to me this morning. Okay? So, and also every shareholders of SWIFTtrip will say congratulations to you and I, to every one of us. Because we've been able, with the help of the Holy Spirit, we've been able to achieve this. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Together we will do great things, okay? So, these are all of the services we are rendering in SWIFTtrip. Let us look at the next slide, which is asking us if SWIFTtrip has gone live. Have we launched the business? Have we gone live? You want to know? Let's look at that. You're looking at all of these services and you're saying, oh, can I patronize this company in any way? Can I patronize this company? Let us look at it. You say SWIFTtrip has not launched business. That is why you cannot patronize us now. We are still at the vision phase. And what we are looking for what? Shareholders. We are looking for like minds, people that will come together and what? Build this business with us. These are the people we are looking out for. Now that we are at the vision phase, soliciting for shareholders, soliciting for pioneers, people that will come build this business with us. People that will come build this business with us. As you can see on the screen, we say, no, SWIFTtrip is currently at its development or vision phase. Calling out for subscribers. Calling out for like minds to build this business. It does not matter where you are. It does not matter your profession. So long you want to be part of those that are building something for the future, come together, let us build this. Let us build this, okay? Especially now that is at the vision phase. Let us come together and build this. Now let's look at the next slide, which is asking us, what is the subscription plan in SWIFTtrip? The subscription plan, how much is it going to cost you to own this business? Let's look at that. And it's a token of $250. With as little as $250, you can be an owner of this company. You can be a co-owner of this business. You can be a co-founder, a pioneer, a subscriber to SWIFTtrip or with SWIFTtrip. Owning all of these 5 services, the aviation, e-taxi, e-commerce, logistics, and hospitality. You're coming to own all of these services. Now, from this $250 that is paid, $150 is the project fee. $150 is the project fee, and $100 is the advertisement fee. $150 plus $100 is a total of how many dollars? $250. And it's something that you cannot negotiate. It's okay, I don't know how to talk to people about Swift. I don't know how to advertise for the company. I just want to pay $150. No. It's not something you can negotiate. It is $250. Okay? Now, What is your ownership percentage? Because by the time you make this payment of $250, the company gives you what? Your ownership percent, which is 0.0 in 5 places, 125%. That is what you own. That is your ownership percent. Okay? And this ownership percentage makes you earn globally from every transaction that takes place worldwide. Okay? From every transaction that takes place worldwide, you're simply earning according to your ownership percentage. Right, now let's move to the next slide, which is also asking us, when will SWIFTtrip go live? When are we launching this business? Okay, let's see that. Now we say the company is giving 5% of our shares. 5% is what the company is making available to all the shareholders of SWIFTtrip. And the company is saying, from this 5% of its shares, if we are able to sell 3% of the shares, the company will launch the business. We will launch business. And how many units are in 3%? We say thus, the launch of SWIFTtrip is embedded in the milestone of 2,400,000 sold units of shares. It simply means there are 2,400,000 units in these 3% that the company needs to sell. And how is that? Let us quickly show that to you. Remember, we said the minimum volume for to sell before the launch of business is 3%, right? Now, your ownership percentage as a shareholder is 0.0 in 5 places, 125%. You simply do 3 divided by your ownership percentage, which is 0.0 in 5 places, 125%. If you do that, what you will get is 2,400,000 node units. That is the exact way to calculate for this 3%. Okay, so you can see how we got this 3%. Before now, we used to say it is 1 man to 1 unit. Like a person cannot own more than 1 unit. But because of the project that is ongoing, which is the construction of the 20-story building, we are giving privilege to just the shareholders for them to own a maximum of 10 extra units, selling at a slashed price of $150. Okay, so if you're a shareholder, you want to own multiple units, you can own the maximum of 10 extra units added to your main account, which is now making it a total of 11. But if you don't have the money for 10, you can buy just 1 extra unit, or 2 or 3 or 4, as the case may be. Okay, so that is a promo that is ongoing now that we are undergoing this project, or now that in this month of October, is this October? August, right? In this month of August, we are giving the privilege to the shareholders of SWIFTtrip to own extra units. Okay? Now, there is also another that we call family combo, of which you can also purchase units, extra units for your family members, still going at the rate of $150. So do not joke or play with this opportunity, especially this promo price that it's available now, because this offer lasts from now to the end of August. Okay, from now to the end of August. So do well to capitalize on this opportunity you are seeing this morning. All right, so the next slide is asking us, when are we going to launch business, or where are we launching a business? We are saying the initial business before we scale global is in Nigeria and in the United Kingdom. These are the first 2 countries of launch before we start launching business in other parts of the world. First off, we'll be launching this business in Nigeria and in the United Kingdom before we scale global. Let us look at the next slide, which is also showing us our certificate of incorporation. We have the CAC certificate. We also have the EFCC certificate. We also have the United Kingdom certificate. So these are our certificates, and you can see we are much certified. Okay, you can also go do your verification by looking at by checking out on the registration number of the CAC, the EFCC certificate registration number, and also the United Kingdom certificate registration number. Okay, so you can also go do your findings. Thank you very much. And we want to quickly look at the next slide, which is asking us, what makes SWIFTtrip stand out from the others? What is that thing that makes us unique? What is that thing that makes us stand out from other companies that are rendering the same services as SWIFTtrip. Remember, if you look at the services we are rendering, the aviation, the e-taxi, the e-commerce, the logistics, and the hotel, which is hospitality, all of these services are not new. They are services that are already in existence, that we have other companies rendering. Now, the question is, what is that thing that will make people, that will make customers want to patronize us and not patronize other companies? Let us look at that. It is because we are coming up with the PYC. We are introducing what we call the PYC. And what does it stand for? Pay your customers. We are coming to be the first company globally that will put its customers on payroll. Yes, we are putting our customers on payroll, that whenever they patronize the company, they earn from that patronage. They earn from every patronage. Because knowing our customers is not enough, we are coming to put these customers on payroll. Yes. The customers are very important to us, and we've known them, and just knowing them is not enough. We need to make sure that they are on payroll, that whenever they patronize the company, they earn from that patronage, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So long they are customers that are patronizing the company, they simply earn for every patronage made. It is amazing. This is one thing that is going to make us stand out from every other companies out there. Okay? Now we want to look at this in a simpler way. We want to look at this diagram before us. If you can see this diagram, we want to just illustrate how this is going to work out. How is this going to work out? Now, we also want to analyze or look at the fact that a transaction happened in Nigeria, for instance, and that transaction that happened cost, let's say, 20,000 naira. Okay? This transaction cost 20,000 naira. It is important for you to know this, that whatever amount a passenger, a customer is paying, we, the company, we are seeing it as 100%. And we know that the price of trip will not be constant. All trip will not cost 20,000 naira. All trip will not cost 10,000 naira. All trip will not cost 2,000, 5,000, or as the case may be. The price of trip will be determined by the distance covered. There is no constant price. There is no constant price. It is only going to be determined by the distance covered. Okay? So, let's assume this person is paying 20,000 naira for the trip, which I said earlier on, it's seen as 100%. How will this 100% be shared? Let us look at it. Our customers, we see them as the profit generator because they are generating profit for us. They are generating profit from us, for us rather. Because without them, we can't make a dime. We can't make any profit. So they are the profit generator. Now, this profit generator gets what we call 2%. That 2% that goes to that passenger who booked that ride is what we call the PYC. The PYC. That's what goes to the passenger who booked that ride. So, this 2% that goes to the passenger, it's money that he or she can withdraw anytime, any day. It's not bonus for next ride. It's money that is withdrawable. He or she can withdraw this money and purchase whatever he or she wants to purchase, okay? Now, you can see the green arrow which shows the totality. That's 100% of that amount paid. 2% has gone to the passenger who booked the ride. If you look at this golden box or this gold diagram, there's a building. If you look closely, that building represents the company. That is SWIFTtrip. 10% goes to SWIFTtrip, who is the platform provider. The company is the platform provider. So 10% goes to the company. What is this 10% used for? It is used for the launch of this business in other parts of the world. for global what? Expansion. This 10% is used for global expansion. Then if you look at my right, you will see 5% goes to the shareholders of SWIFTtrip, which is you and I. Remember earlier on, I told us that the company is giving 5%. The company is giving 5% of shares to its shareholders that needs to be consumed. And I said, at the sales of 3% of that shares, we will launch the business. It simply means we also have 2% that is available. These 2% will be sold after the launch of the business. Now, 5% plus 10%, that is 15% plus 2%, 17%. The next slide shows us the driver. Of course, the passenger who booked the ride, someone must come pick that passenger. And that person who is coming to pick the passenger, we see that person as the service provider. In this case, the person is a driver. Okay? Now, 80% of that money paid goes to the service provider, who is the driver. 80% goes to the service provider. Someone will say, why is this person getting a bigger share? That is because he is doing majority of the work. He also has to fuel his car, he has to maintain his car, he has to do everything, he has to make sure everything is in place. So that's the reason why he's getting the bigger share of the percentage, okay? So, 80% plus 17%, that is a total of 97%, right? Now, 3% is left. And how is this 3% shared? SWIFTtrip enables everyone to earn up to their 4th generation. Everyone, including you and I. Now, in this analysis, the passenger who booked the ride and the driver who rendered that service, their 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th generation earn. How do they earn? The 1st generation of the passenger who booked the ride earns 1%. The 2nd generation earns 0.3%. The 3rd generation earns 0.1%. And the 4th generation earns 0.1%. Add it up together is a total of 1.5%. The same thing goes to the drivers. The driver. 1st generation earns 1%, 2nd generation 0.3%, 3rd generation 0.1%, and the 4th generation 0.1%. Add it up is a total of 1.5%. 1.5 plus 1.5 is how many percent? 3%. 3% plus 97% is how many percent? Is a total of 100%. So you can see how this has been shared. Just like you see here, SWIFTtrip e-taxi dynamic proposed profit share. You can see how this has been shared to everybody. I mean, everybody. It is also important for you to know that this PYC, the pay your customer, which I've just analyzed, whereby I told you that the passenger who booked this ride gets 2%. It is important to know that this applies to all of our services, including the aviation. Let me show us. The aviation, the e-commerce, the e-taxi, the logistics, and the hospitality. Okay? The logistics and the hospitality. The PYC applies to all of our services. Okay? So, we'll quickly look at the next slide, which is asking us, who is the brain behind SWIFTtrip? Who is that brain behind SWIFTtrip? Who is the vision bearer? He is no other person than Honorable Richard Nnadi. He is the CEO. He is the founder of this business, a Nigerian. Both parents are Nigerian. We are happy that this is coming from our own ground. Nigeria, so many persons are saying, including some of us that are Nigeria, that nothing good can come out from this country. But that is bygone, because something massive is erupting from the nation, Nigeria. Something massive is coming. Something that is going to change the world for good. Something that is coming to elevate everyone positively. Something that is coming to eradicate poverty from our nation. Not just our nation, but from the world at large. That is SWIFTtrip. And the CEO, Honorable Richard Nnadi, like I said, he is a Nigerian. He is the vision bearer. He is the one that has availed himself for this vision to be passed on to. And we say the Lord will continue to increase him in all ramifications of his life, in wisdom, in everything that he needs. He will continue to excel. We love you so much, sir. And we are happy to have you. You can see that he is a young and vibrant man. Thank you very much, sir, for all you do for SWIFTtrip. All right. So we want to go to a very important part, which is how you profit as a subscriber of SWIFTtrip. How you profit as a co-owner of this business. Of course, nobody wants to go into a business without making profit. So you want to look, you want to see what is in it for you as a subscriber, as a shareholder of SWIFTtrip. Now, we say how you earn in the future. How you earn in the future. We say we want to look at the e-taxi for this analysis. We want to work with the e-taxi. Remember, we have 5 services, right? The aviation, e-taxi, e-commerce, logistics, and hospitality. But then, we want to show to you how you earn from just one of these services. And we are using the e-taxi as a case study. We want to also assume a transaction happens in Nigeria and in the United States. In the United States, of course, they make use of dollar there, and in Nigeria, we make use of naira. So, in Nigeria, the trip that took place, the one trip that took place, for instance, cost 8,000 naira. And in the United States, the one trip that took place, we are assuming it cost $10. Remember I said earlier on that the price of trip is not constant. It will be determined by the distance covered, okay? So, we are working with 8,000 naira and $10. How would you know your profit? It is very simple. You simply do the cost of the trip, multiply by your ownership percentage. If you do that, what you will get for the naira is 0.0 in 3 places, 1 kobo. That is, if you are multiplying 8,000 naira times 0.0 in 5 places, 125%. You will get what? 0.0 in 3 places, 1 kobo as your profit. And if you are in the United States, you do $10 multiplied by your ownership percentage. What are you going to get? 0.0 in 6 places, 125%. Amazing. Yes, this is a profit that you will make from this business. Someone will say that I don't understand. This is very, very small. Like I'm earning in kobo. And you're telling me that this business is going to make me a trillionaire in dollars. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. This is not just going to make you a trillionaire in dollars. It is going to make you a decillionaire in dollars. This cent and kobo you're seeing here is going to transform your finance. It's going to elevate your financial blueprint. It's going to make you a decillionaire in dollars. It's going to make you a decillionaire in dollars. So, do not joke with, this is a candy advice to everyone listening to me. Do not joke with any business that has to do with percentage. Don't joke with any business that has to do with percentage. Please, media, please help me check something here. Oh, God.